This Weddell seal is looking hungry, but is there anything to eat here? What kind of food do you think a Weddell seal eats? Is there any animal who might be looking to eat a seal for dinner? Follow along to answer these questions and figure out what's for dinner in Antarctica. Who eats who in Antarctica? Let's start at the bottom of the food web. And as we build a food web, we'll show how energy is transferred from one animal to another. It all starts with the sun. Even underwater, nearly every living thing depends on the sun. All ocean food webs start with the same thing, phytoplankton. These microscopic plants bloom or reproduce when they get energy from the sun. Next in our web is zooplankton, which feeds on phytoplankton. Zooplankton, or microscopic animals, and phytoplankton, or microscopic plants, are similar because they are both part of the smallest group of creatures in the ocean. Phytoplankton is the Greek word for drifter, which is exactly what these creatures do in the water. Our web is getting bigger. Some say life in the Southern Ocean is governed by the krill rule, which says you either are krill, you eat krill, or the food you eat eats krill. Krill is actually a type of zooplankton. It is a tiny, shrimp-like crustacean. In the Southern Ocean, the krill population exceeds 600 billion. And here's a fun fact. Its name means whale food in Norwegian. Can you guess why? The black-browed albatross and the kelp gull are two types of seabirds common near the Southern Ocean. Seabirds live along coastlines and can spend months at a time at sea. However, they are creatures of habit and usually travel to the same spot at the same time each year to build their nest and lay their eggs. They are well adapted for catching fish and krill because of their spoon-shaped beaks. Adelie penguins are the smallest species of penguins in Antarctica and stand about 18 inches tall. They come to the Antarctic coastline and surrounding islands during the Antarctic summer. There, they breed and build their nests out of rock. Once the winter weather comes, they dive into the frigid waters and swim north. Squid, Antarctic silverfish, and bork are three types of small ocean animals in the Southern Ocean. Many of the fish here have special adaptations to help them survive in such a cold environment. For example, Antarctic silverfish and bork both have an antifreeze protein in their blood, which prevents their blood from freezing. The crab-eater seal is the most abundant seal in the world. It lives in the Southern Ocean on the pack ice, or floating chunks of old sea ice, on and around the Antarctic coastline, and on the islands surrounding Antarctica. You might be surprised, but the crab-eater seal does not eat crab. It eats mostly krill. The minke whale is found in all of the world's oceans, but it prefers the cold waters in the polar regions in both the Arctic and Antarctic. Minkies, as they're often called, feed mainly on krill. They are also baleen whales, which means instead of teeth, they have long, hair-like baleen plates. The whale opens its mouth and takes in water. It then pushes the water out, and the small animals like krill remain and become the whale's food source. The South Polar skua is a large predatory seabird. Like other seabirds, it spends months at a time at sea. Some make their nests close to penguin colonies and feed off penguin eggs and chicks. The leopard seal is one of the top predators in the Southern Ocean. It lives in pack ice, floating chunks of old sea ice surrounding Antarctica, and it feeds on smaller seals, penguins, seabirds, fish, and krill. It has a very large, reptile-shaped head with jaws that open wide enough to fit small seals and penguins in one mouthful. The orca is found in all the world's oceans, and it is an apex predator in the Southern Ocean. Also known as the killer whale, it will hunt all kinds of animals, even whales that are bigger than itself. Orcas are highly social creatures that live in large groups called pods. They even hunt in groups. The Antarctic toothfish is a common type of large fish in the Southern Ocean. It is a key fish predator in the Ross Sea because of its size, some nearly 6 feet to 300 pounds, Because of its range, moving around areas over 1,000 kilometers wide, and because of its lifespan, living 30 to 40 years. It also lives further south than sharks typically live, so it takes the role of the top predator that sharks would usually fill. The emperor penguins are near the middle of the Southern Ocean's food web. Emperors are excellent divers and can dive to over 1,600 feet and for 20 minutes at a time, although it's more common for them to dive around 600 feet and stay underwater for 3 to 6 minutes. They tend to eat small fish, which are easy to digest, and one of the most common fish they eat is the Antarctic silverfish. The Weddell seal wins the prize for being the southernmost living mammal. Unlike other seals that live in pack ice or floating ice chunks, Weddell seals can live under the ice shelf. They use their teeth to make breathing holes in the ice shelf, which allows them to survive in areas where other mammals would be trapped. They usually dive for about 20 minutes at a time, which gives them time to catch many small fish, but they have been known to stay underwater for up to 96 minutes. Weddell seals can take deep dives over 1,600 feet, where they find very large Antarctic toothfish, which they have to bring back to the ocean surface to eat. Although it's possible for orcas to feed on Weddell seals, Weddell seals have an adaptation that allows them to evade this top predator. They hide under the ice shelf and use their teeth to do so. The Weddell seal's teeth are angled outward, and they use their teeth to make holes or cracks in the ice so they can breathe and escape from predators. Orcas and leopard seals are the top predators in the Southern Ocean food web. The orca's group hunting strategy and larger size gives it the advantage over the leopard seals. The Weddell seal isn't a picky eater, but it does have its favorites. Among them are krill, fish, and squid. They can stay underwater for more than an hour while hunting for food. This amazing animal has the ability to collapse their lungs while underwater, so they don't require as much air. They have powerful teeth, but tend to swallow their food in large chunks or whole. The Antarctic silverfish gets a 5-star rating from the Weddell seals. They are among the most common fish in the Weddell seal diet, which may be because they are very plentiful in the Ross Sea. They are also easy to eat, as they are only 5 to 10 inches in length. The Antarctic toothfish finds itself in the Weddell seal's belly a little less often, which may be because these fish are really big. One Antarctic toothfish can weigh over 150 pounds. It takes a lot of energy for a seal to get a fish that big up to the surface, and it's too big for the fish to eat while swimming underwater. The bald notithin, pronounced bork for short, is another tasty treat for a Weddell seal. These ice fish measure less than 11 inches long and are silver gray in color, sometimes with dark spots. These animals are bite-sized. Weddell seals can gobble these guys up like popcorn. Krill are the smallest animals seals eat, and they measure only about 2 inches in length. Now you create your Southern Ocean food web.